All right, y'all. Time for the wood. Now, I think I saw a comment on another channel about how this field was weak. I, I was kind of, I was kind of looking for it too. I was like, oh man, here we go. 13 weak horses to pick through. But see, that's why I don't like to read a lot of comments, especially before I look at the races, because I don't think this race is weak. Um, like I said, I think this is a good crop of horses this year. I can't say this is super strong or anything. I mean, Secretariat's not running here that I could see, but Secretary didn't even win this race. So uh, let's just get into this. One more thing. One more piece of commentary before I get into the horses here. I really got to say, $750,000 for the purse. 750. What's wrong with y'all in New York? You got to get that up. The Arkansas Derby pays $1.5 million. It pays double. That's it's got to at least be $1 million. That's just unacceptable. I mean, if they don't raise that, I think they should probably lower it to a grade three. Uh, New York, that's very disappointing for those of you in New York that are watching this. I think you need to get on the NYRA and have something done about that. The Wood should definitely pay at least $1 million in today's day and age. Number one horse here. We're going with Resilience here at number one. 6-1 Johnny V. Bill Mott horse out of Into Mischief. Johnny V's, good with those Into Mischief horses. Has been in the past. Smart Strike on the other side. Um, this horse last out fourth in the Risen Star. Yeah, he ran into a lot of good horses. That Risen Star Stakes. Not only did you have the slop, but you also had Sierra Leone, Track Phantom, and Catching Freedom, which was the eventual Louisiana Derby winner in that race, finished ahead of this horse. So suddenly that fourth place doesn't look that bad. Um, in the Risen Star. Before that, he broke his maiden at Gulfstream. Mile and 1/16, 143. So I mean, you got good, decent times. You ran a maiden before that at Churchill. I like the horse 6-1. Um, I think this race is much more competitive than that, though. Let's just go to the next one here, and we'll get into the rest of it later. El Grande O, New York bred. Take 2% for the meat. Don't really like to trust guys like Dylan Davis in a race like this. Kendrick Caramuch was riding this horse. Third in the Gotham, second in the Withers before that, second in the Jerome. That Gotham, another good race, another horse, a race with good horses. You had Deterministic, and then it was just a touch, just a touch. Running second in that one. Kendrick Caramuch got off this horse to ride for Pletcher, which I guess that probably pays more. But I kind of like El Grande O. Ran a decent third, I thought, in the Gotham, and then that second by a nose in the Withers. He was beaten by the number 13 horse in this one, Uncle Heavy. That's an interesting horse, but 13's down the road here. El Grande O, New York bred, like I said, gonna be running out front, competitive, switching up on the jockey. I don't like that. Uh, Horse is a fighter, has been. Um, we'll see what he can do with this competition. They got him at 8-1. I don't know about that. Maybe if he had Caramuch was riding him. Dylan Davis, yeah, he's winning 22% on the meet, but I don't know. In this race, it's a bit much to go for that, especially for 8 to 1. Number three, Lonesome Boy. Washington bred. Washington bred horse in this one. I guess maybe that's why this guy was brought. Horse is kind of bred from all over the place, but they got in here somehow. 50 to 1 on this one. They got as the morning odds. I guess fair enough. Uh, Adam Bauman. We got Adam Bauman riding him. Horse out of Nationhood. Don't know anything about that sire line from Washington. Um, Horse got to win his last out in this city of brotherly love in Philly. Um, 144 in the slop. Aqueduct in the slop. So you like to see that as well. This is a horse that I think could get lucky. Um, don't know that I put too much on, but at 50 to 1, I mean, you might want to go for something on this one. It will require a little luck, but the jockey's got experience on him, got a winner on him before. It wouldn't be unheard of. I would think in this kind of race, if something weird happens with the pace, which happens in New York, I think pretty much every race, in my opinion, the pace is always wrong. But that's a different story. Number 4, Deterministic. Horse out of Liam's Map. Now, this horse is undefeated. You got to like this one. Joel Rosario. They got the morning odds on this one at 4 to, what is that, 7 to 5? Yeah. Christophe Clement, horse got to win in the Gotham, got to win. I like that, especially for being the second race out. Plus, he's got Joel Rosario riding him. You gotta like this horse. I mean, he's the favorite for a reason. Number 5, Protective. Medaglia d'Oro horse. Mother's father is Empire Maker. Another one of those big horses. They got this one at 30 to 1. This is one that Caramoose jumped over to. I mean, if that means something to you, the jockey's jumping over and it's a Todd Pletcher horse, and you're getting some 31 kind of odds on him, it might be worth some kind of a play. I don't think that I take him as my pick necessarily, but I mean, when the odds get big enough, it's worth it sometimes because you're getting a Pletcher combo. Horse last out, third in maiden special weight. In Tampa, mile 40 yards and 142. It's not very fast for that 6 furlong. You're going with the Pletcher for the odds, pretty much. If you're going with this one, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't rule something crazy out with it just because of the familiarity with the track. Number 6, Evening News. 20 to 1 on Evening News. Jareth Loveberry riding him. Horse out of Nyquist. Derby winner Nyquist. Mother's father's Bernardini. So, win last out. Allowance at Turfway. Of course, that was on artificial. And they only went 139. So I don't really like that, but maybe he doesn't like the artificial that much. He was second before that in an optional claimer at Turfway. Got a win before that, breaking the maiden at Turfway. But he went to Churchill Downs and a 59-second breathing workout time at Churchill, so maybe he likes the dirt. That is something to look at with these horses. It is Jareth Loveberry, and I do expect him to be near the front, if not the leader in this one. I think that's probably going to work to his detriment. They got him 20 to 1. Maybe, I guess I see. Yeah, if he can control the pace, this horse could do something. But I think it's going to be think this race is a lot more competitive than it may seem. Um, Number 7, Merit, horse out of Mastery. This is a 20-1. Edwin Gonzalez riding this one. A Saffy Joseph horse. The record you gotta like on this horse: 3 lifetime starts, a first, a second, and a third in those. Um, Last out second place in an optional claimer Gulfstream. Um, for that third and optional claimer Gulfstream. Last one was at a mile and an eighth. So you gotta like the distance on that one. Um, got the win in the third one out at Gulfstream before that as well. Horse showing progress coming up from Florida. I mean, I always think that's an advantage coming from Florida because of the humidity. Training in the humidity. You see it in the NFL all the time. Training in the humidity and then leaving and going to a place without the humidity, it's an advantage. Your lungs are just used to having to work so hard, don't have to work as hard. That could be an angle on this horse. The jockey Edwin Gonzalez, that's kind of what you're going with in these. But like I said, if you like any of these and you're looking for a long shot, there's an angle on a lot of them, and if the odds get big enough and that's what you want to do, I wouldn't blame you. Number 8. And the odds are going to get big. It's being that it's New York and people go, somebody's probably going to be around 80 or 90-1. I'm pretty sure, if not breaking the board, because that's how big the money gets in New York. Number 8, Ellison Meadows. I'm sure I got that. Elysian Meadows. Yeah. Should have studied that name better. Elysian Meadows. This one out of City of Light, a City Zip horse, another New York line there. City Zip was a pretty good with the breeding, and City of Light Pegasus winner. So you gotta like that if you're looking for something to like in this horse. 15-1. Now Jose Lescano riding this. I think a very underrated jockey. He always seems to be forgotten. He doesn't really get the biggest horses, so he's not always in the biggest races. But he's an accomplished jockey nonetheless. 24% wins on the season. Now this horse is through 3 lifetime starts, got 2 wins. Last out was a 4th in the Sam F. Davis, but 2 wins before that at Aqueduct. Junior Alvarado was riding him in that race, though. If you want to blame him for the loss, the 4th there, Jose Lescano rode him those other 2 races and got the win on him. So horse is undefeated with Lescano. Lescano's an accomplished guy. Speed-wise, I don't want to say he hasn't necessarily done it. I'm rated 2 over even. It's hard to judge some of these. I'm honestly working with something new. You get those races where, for example, here, where the opening, the opening fractions are really off, and making some adjustments. Anyway, that's getting off on a tangent. We can get to that later if need be. Anyway, a horse that I think can be competitive, of course, with the jockey. Going back to the jockey he's never lost with. He's not. None of these horses are really slow. Like I was okay. This one, the 5, he's not that fast. But anything happens with the pace in the faster horses, which they're not that much faster, get tired. Any of these other horses, I think, can win. And this one's got a jockey that's definitely capable, and it's got a horse that likes him. Number 8, Tuscan Sky. This one's another Pletcher horse. Manny Franco on this one. Manny Franco's ridden him before. Got a win on him. Horse was being ridden by it was Saez. Yes, Luis Saez. Saez is riding this horse. Of course, he's going to be riding elsewhere. At any rate, this horse coming off of two wins, optional claimer at Fairgrounds, mile and 1/16 there in 143 in the slop. See, these are all decent times. I mean, they all so many races in the slop. That's another thing. Some of these races are in the slop, and you got to kind of forgive the time on that. So you're looking at this horse in here. He's only got two races, undefeated. Got a jockey's familiar with him, trained by Todd Pletcher. Cyrus Vino Rosso, who not only won this one, his 4-year-old season there to win the Breeders' Cup Classic. So yeah, they got him at 4-1. I think it's probably going to go kind of higher. I think his odds are kind of. I think they're going to go. If he's only run two races, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. You're going to go all in on a horse that's only run twice. And I don't know that you could do that either. But it's a lot to like about Tuscan Sky. Number 10, Gettysburg Address, another a Constitution horse who's out at Tapit. Mother's father's Pioneer of the Nile. So you got strong breeding again. 30-1 they got on this horse. Emmanuel Esquivel riding him. He's never ridden him before. I think that does kind of go against the horse. Third in his last out at Turfway on the artificial surface. Mile and 137. So not impressive there. 8 lengths off. Fourth before that in optional claimer. Fourth in the Smarty Jones. If you're looking for something to like, hey, you look at the breeding. He's got a 1-minute breezing workout coming off into this race. He looks to be decently positioned, I guess you would say. Not going to be on the lead, but going to be near it. And I think that's probably good, but don't know that he'll have the speed for this field. Number 11, Society Man. A good magic horse. A lot of good magic horses in this one. $30-1. Luis Rivera Jr. Riding this one. Coming off a win, breaking his maiden into mile 138. Eighth before that in the maiden. Third before that in the maiden. What are you going to say? Got the win at 138. So once again, he's right off of that. I don't really like the fact that he's not one of these horses that just, got the win right off the maiden and came off with another win, as you see with some of these others. Tough field, though. Competitive horse. But as far as long shots go, I mean, if you're looking to skip one, maybe this is one you would skip. He is coming off a win. So maybe you leave him out of your long shots. But a lot of these long shots are good. We'll see. We'll see what the odds end up looking at come race time. Number 12, Deposition out of Constitution, Dexter Haddock riding this one. They got him as a 50-1. So I guess there's the thing he's really going to be up there. Ran in that Gotham competitive race. 14 lengths off, 6th place in that. Fourth, decent horses. Deterministic, Grande O, Uncle Heavy. Hasn't done much against him, but he does have the experience. But I think it's going to be tough for him in this one as well. And last, but not least, before that, I got to take a quick commercial break here. And not a commercial, more of a show and tell break. But the Simply Spiked Strawberry Lemonade. The Spiked Lemonade is really good too, especially on a hot day. But the Simply Spiked Lemonade, I'm not really much for these flavored alcoholic They usually like will give me like heartburn or stomach ache or both. Um, this one is really good. It's really good, especially if you like the Simply Lemonade. It's got that pure lemon taste to it. Tastes very authentic, and they did a very good job with these drinks as well. So highly recommended. The 13, Uncle Heavy, the Pennsylvania bred. They got him at 8-1. I think people are going to sleep on this horse. I think they're going to sleep on this horse. This is the race I was talking about with the times. The Withers 153 in the mud. That's just not it. You can't just use those times as you would a fast track. So I'm just working on something to adjust and come up with more accurate timing for that. And I think this horse really is better than people think. Got to win in the wait for it. Um, Fifth in the race before that in Pennsylvania. Um, Pennsylvania Nursery. Michael J. Sanchez riding him. Um, he is familiar. It is his horse. Yes, he's the only guy that's ever ridden him. So yes, it is his horse. I think this horse could get the win realistically. Um, don't like going with guys like Michael J. Sanchez that I'm not very familiar with. I could see it happening. He is Pennsylvania bred, which yeah, I don't really know about that, but there's Smarty Jones. He was a Pennsylvania bred, but uh, came up through Pennsylvania, got these wins in Pennsylvania, came through, got a win in the Withers in the mud. Um, he shows he's got a lot of fight and he closes hard. At least these past couple of races. I expect him to do the same in this one. Now, I'm looking for a pace probably to be about a 47-second opening half, probably 112 in the three quarters. The 2 and the 6. El Grandeo and Evening News. I got riding up front there. I do have the 4, or sorry, the 10 and the 3. 10 Gettysburg Address and the 3 Lonesome Boy. I think they'll be positioned in there. The problem is, I think it's gonna be a bit too much for these horses. I think. Sorry, yes, I do have. Yes, the 2, 2 El Grandeo. Um, he'll probably be out front. Get the 47. Get tired. The others will chase. Try not to pass him. Get tired. And that's where I'm looking for the close. I'm looking for the close coming in on the 4 Deterministic. I think Rosario. I just like that combination. You got Rosario. You've got the horse coming in here, coming off a couple wins. Got the strong win in the Gotham. Um, I think he's going to do it. So many horses in this one. This almost feels like I'm handicapping the Kentucky Derby. I know it's 13 compared to 20, but it just feels ultra loaded. Yeah, I think he's going to do it. So I'm going with the 4. Yeah, he's the favorite once again, but I just think he's a step faster than the rest of these. Second place, I'm going with the 1 Johnny Velasquez, Resilience. Bill Mott. Third, 13, Uncle Heavy. I really kind of like this horse. I think the jockey. I just think that the let's say the bright lights get to him. I guess you could say. I do like the horse though. I got him running third. if the odds get big enough on him, I think maybe he's worth a play for the win. Or maybe definitely you want to put him in there in some exotics. And in fourth place, I'm going with the 8. Elysian Meadows, Jose Lescano, got him in there for fourth. But this is a very competitive race, and it was tough. Not that tough, really, from the deterministic standpoint. It really looks like he stands out just a bit to me than the rest of them. But I do I do definitely think second place is out of the other 12. It's probably realistically 8 that stand a good chance of getting it. So definitely know what you think in the. Let me know what you think in the comments there. I'm going 4-1-13-8. I'll check you in the next video.